How was planet Earth born? In the beginning there was nothing, no Earth, no sun, no sky, only endless darkness. The universe was silent, cold, and empty, no life, no sound, no meaning. And yet inside this darkness a story was waiting to be born, a story of fire, a story of destruction, a story of survival. This is the story of planet Earth. The narrator explains that Earth was not always the blue, living world we see today. It was not gentle. It was not beautiful. Earth was born from chaos. To understand Earth's birth, the story must travel back 4.6 billion years into the past, to a time when even the solar system did not exist. At that time, there was no sun in the sky. There were no planets moving in perfect orbits. Instead, space was filled with a giant cloud of gas and dust. This cloud was called a nebula. It floated silently in the vast universe. For millions of years, nothing happened. Then something changed. Far away, a massive star reached the end of its life. That star exploded in a powerful supernova. The explosion sent shockwaves across space. These waves traveled for light years until they reached the quiet nebula. The peaceful cloud was disturbed, and the universe began to move. The narrator tells the audience that destruction is often the beginning of creation. The shockwaves pushed the gas and dust closer together. Gravity woke up. Slowly, the cloud began to collapse. Dust particles moved closer. Gas started to spin. What was once calm turned into chaos. As the nebula collapsed, it began to rotate faster and faster. At the center, pressure increased. Temperature rose. Millions of years passed. The center of the cloud became hotter than anything imaginable. And then a star was born. This star was the sun. A giant nuclear fire ignited in space. The sun was not gentle at birth. It was violent, unstable, and extremely powerful, but its gravity changed everything. The sun became the heart of the solar system. Around it, the remaining gas and dust formed a spinning disk. This disk was filled with rocks, ice, and metal. Inside this disk, planets were about to be born. The narrator explains that nothing was planned. There was no design, no intention, only gravity and time. Inside the spinning disk, tiny particles began to collide. At first, they were small as grains of sand. They crashed into each other again and again. Some collisions destroyed them, others made them stick together. Slowly, they became larger. Thousands of years passed. Then millions. Small rocks became big rocks. Big rocks became planet-sized bodies. This was the birth of worlds, but space was dangerous. Many young planets never survived. Some were thrown into deep space. Some crashed into the sun. Some were destroyed by violent collisions. Only the strongest survived. The narrator asks a powerful question. Why did Earth survive when so many others failed? The answer lies in chaos. Earth was born in the inner solar system, close to the young sun. This region was hot. Ice could not survive here. Only rock and metal remained. That is why Earth became a rocky planet, but Earth's birth was not peaceful. It was a world of fire. Its surface was completely molten. Lava oceans covered the planet. The sky was filled with toxic gases. There was no air to breathe, no water to drink, no life. The narrator describes Earth as a burning hell. Meteor after meteor crashed into its surface. Each impact released massive energy. Earth was constantly wounded, but with every collision, Earth grew stronger. Then came the most important moment in Earth's history, a moment that changed everything. A massive object, almost the size of Mars, was moving through space. It was heading straight toward Earth. There was no escape. The collision was unimaginable. When the object hit Earth, it released energy greater than billions of nuclear bombs. The surface melted completely. Huge pieces of Earth were thrown into space. For a moment, it looked like Earth would be destroyed, but something incredible happened. The debris formed a ring around Earth. Over time, this debris came together. It became the moon. The narrator explains that the moon was born from destruction. And without the moon, Earth might not exist as it does today. The moon stabilized Earth's rotation. It controlled tides. It protected Earth from future impacts. Earth survived, but the danger was not over. For millions of years, asteroids continued to strike the planet. Each impact changed its surface. Mountains were crushed. New land was formed. Earth was being shaped by violence. Slowly, Earth began to cool. Its surface hardened. A solid crust formed. The planet took its first stable breath, but Earth was still lifeless. It was silent, empty, waiting. The narrator tells the audience that Earth's story is not just about survival. It is about patience. It took hundreds of millions of years for Earth to prepare for life. Volcanoes erupted everywhere. They released gases into the atmosphere. These gases formed a thick blanket around the planet. This atmosphere protected Earth from deadly radiation. Deep inside the planet, something else was happening. Earth's core began to spin. This created a magnetic field, an invisible shield, a shield that protected Earth from the sun's deadly storms. Without this shield, life would never exist. Earth was becoming special, but still there was no life. The narrator slowly builds suspense. He tells the audience that life was not guaranteed. Earth came very close to failure. One small change, and Earth would become another dead planet like Mars. But Earth was lucky. Perfect distance from the sun, perfect size, perfect balance, and then water arrived, not all at once, slowly, through asteroids and comets from deep space. Each carried ice, each delivered a gift. Rain began to fall, not for days, not for years, but for thousands of years. The surface cooled, oceans formed. Earth finally changed color, from red and black to deep blue. The narrator ends part 1 with a powerful message. Earth was not born as a home, it became one. Through fire, through destruction, through time. And this is only the beginning, because the greatest mystery is still ahead. How did life begin on a planet born in chaos? The universe holds its breath, and the story continues in deep space. Earth now exists, but it is still young, violent, and unstable. The narrator reminds the audience that Earth is not alone. It is part of a much bigger system, a system ruled by one powerful force. The sun. The narrator slowly asks, what if the sun had never formed? Without the sun, Earth would be nothing more than a frozen rock drifting in darkness. No warmth, no light, no life. To understand Earth's destiny, the story must return to the moment when the sun was born. 4.6 billion years ago, the solar system was still forming. The nebula had collapsed, but the process was far from complete. At its center, gas and dust continued to fall inward. Gravity pulled everything tighter and tighter. The pressure became extreme. Temperature rose to millions of degrees. Hydrogen atoms moved faster, they collided violently. Then a critical moment arrived. Hydrogen atoms fused together, energy was released. A nuclear reaction began. The sun ignited. This was not an explosion, it was a controlled fire. A fire that would burn for billions of years. The narrator describes the newborn sun as a giant engine, an engine powered by nuclear fusion. Every second the sun converted hydrogen into helium. Every second massive energy was released. Light filled the darkness. For the first time, the solar system was no longer invisible, but the young sun was dangerous. It was unstable. It released powerful solar winds. Violent radiation blasted through space. These winds pushed away leftover gas and dust. Only the strongest material survived. This process cleaned the solar system. The narrator explains that Jupiter saved the inner planets. Its massive gravity captured dangerous objects. Without Jupiter, Earth would face constant destruction. The sun slowly became stable, its energy balanced, its light became consistent. This stability was critical because planets need time, time to cool, time to form, time to survive. Around the sun, the spinning disk still existed. Inside this disk, planets were growing. Each planet had a different fate. Close to the sun, temperatures were extremely high. Only rock and metal could survive. This is where Earth formed. Farther away, ice and gas survived. This is where gas giants were born. The narrator explains that distance from the sun decided everything. Too close, a planet would burn. Too far, a planet would freeze. Earth formed in the perfect zone. This zone is called the habitable zone, not because life existed, but because life could exist. But Earth's early years were still dangerous. The sun was powerful. Solar storms regularly hit the inner planets. Radiation was intense. Without protection, Earth would lose its atmosphere like Mars, but Earth had a secret weapon. Deep inside Earth, the molten core was spinning. This movement created a magnetic field, an invisible shield. The narrator explains that this magnetic field deflected deadly solar radiation. It protected Earth's atmosphere, it protected its future. Mars did not have this protection. Over time, the sun stripped Mars of its atmosphere. It became cold and dead. Earth survived. The sun also controlled time itself. Day and night, seasons, climate. The narrator explains how Earth's tilt created seasons. Summer, winter, balance. This balance allowed Earth to remain stable for billions of years. Life needs stability. Even small changes can cause extinction. The sun also shaped Earth's chemistry. Its energy powered chemical reactions. Reactions that would later create life, but at this stage Earth was still lifeless. The narrator slows the pace. He tells the audience that life is fragile. Even today, life depends on the sun. A small change in the sun's energy, and life could disappear. The sun is not eternal. It is slowly changing. Every second it grows older. but it has billions of years left, enough time for life to rise, enough time for intelligence, enough time for humanity. The narrator reflects, the sun is both a creator and a destroyer. It gives life, but it can also take it away. Solar flares remind us of this power. One strong flare could disrupt technology, could damage satellites. The sun does not care. It follows the laws of physics. As the sun stabilized, Earth entered a new phase. The chaos slowly reduced. The bombardment slowed. Earth finally had time to heal. Its surface cooled further. Water stayed longer. Oceans deepened. The narrator explains that without the sun's stable energy, water would never remain liquid, ice or steam, no oceans, no life. The sun also helped Earth develop an atmosphere. Solar energy powered weather systems. Wind, rain, clouds. Earth became dynamic, alive with movement. But life still had not appeared. The narrator builds suspense again. He reminds the audience many planets had similar conditions, but life only appeared on Earth. Why? The answer is still unknown. The sun provided energy, Earth provided protection, water provided chemistry. All pieces were coming together slowly, quietly. The universe was preparing something extraordinary. The narrator ends part 2 with a powerful thought. The sun is not just a star. It is Earth's guardian, its executioner, its timekeeper. Every sunrise is proof that Earth survived. Every sunset is a reminder that nothing lasts forever. And somewhere deep in Earth's ocean, something was about to change the universe forever. Because in the next chapter, life will begin. The story moves forward in time. The sun now burns steadily at the center of the solar system. Its light spreads across space. But around it, chaos still rules. The narrator explains that the solar system was not born in one moment. It was built slowly, piece by piece, collision by collision. Around the young sun, a massive spinning disk still exists. This disk is made of dust, rock, metal, and ice. It stretches billions of kilometers across space. Inside this disk, the future of planets is hidden. The narrator calls it a cosmic construction site. There are no rules, no order, only gravity and motion. Tiny particles move through the disk. They collide gently, sometimes violently. Most collisions destroy them, but some collisions create something new. 2 particles stick together, then 3, then 4. Slowly they grow. This process is slow, extremely slow. Thousands of years pass. Nothing seems to change. Then millions of years pass, and suddenly change becomes visible. Small rocks become larger rocks. Larger rocks become massive bodies. These are called planetesimals. They are the first building blocks of planets. The narrator explains that planetesimals are dangerous. They move fast, they crash hard, they destroy anything in their path. Space becomes a battlefield. Some planetesimals grow faster than others. Their gravity becomes stronger. They pull in more material. They become dominant. These growing bodies are called protoplanets. They are not planets yet. They are incomplete, unstable, violent. The narrator asks, how many worlds were born and how many were lost? The answer is unknown. Many protoplanets never survive. Some are thrown out of the solar system. Some crash into the sun. Some are destroyed by larger bodies. Survival is rare. Close to the sun, temperatures are extreme. Ice cannot exist. Gas is pushed away by solar winds. Only heavy materials remain, rock, metal. This is where the inner planets are born: Mercury, Venus, Earth, Mars. The narrator explains that location decides destiny. Mercury forms closest to the sun. It becomes small and dense. Its surface is burned by solar heat. Venus forms slightly farther away. It is similar in size to Earth, but its fate is very different. Mars forms farther out, smaller, weaker gravity. It struggles to hold its atmosphere. And then there is Earth. Earth forms in the perfect position. Not too close, not too far, but Earth's growth is violent. It collides with countless bodies. Each impact adds mass. Each impact releases energy. The narrator describes Earth as a growing monster, pulling in everything nearby. These impacts heat the planet. Earth becomes molten again and again. Its surface melts, then hardens, then melts again. This process lasts millions of years. Farther from the sun, another story is unfolding. In the cold outer regions, ice survives. Water ice, methane ice, ammonia ice. Here, planets grow differently. Massive cores form first. Then they pull in huge amounts of gas. Hydrogen, helium. These planets become giants: Jupiter, Saturn, Uranus, Neptune. The narrator explains that Jupiter changes everything. Jupiter grows massive. Its gravity becomes enormous. It reshapes the solar system. Jupiter captures asteroids. It redirects comets. It protects the inner planets from constant bombardment. But Jupiter is also dangerous. Its gravity throws objects toward the inner solar system, including Earth. The narrator reminds the audience Earth's history is shaped by Jupiter's decisions. As planets grow, the disk slowly disappears. Solar winds push away remaining gas. Leftover debris collides or escapes. After tens of millions of years, the solar system becomes clearer. Orbits stabilize. Planets settle into their paths. The narrator explains that orbits are not perfect. They are slightly stretched, slightly tilted. These small imperfections matter. They create seasons, climate changes, long-term stability. Earth's orbit becomes stable enough to support liquid water, but the danger is not over. A period called the Late Heavy Bombardment begins. Millions of asteroids and comets rain down on the inner planets. Earth is hit again and again. So is the Moon, so is Mars. The narrator explains that the Moon's craters are scars from this time. Earth once had similar scars, but erosion erased them. Each impact is destructive, but each impact also delivers new material. Some asteroids carry metals, some carry water, some carry organic molecules. The narrator hints that the seeds of life may arrive during this chaos. Earth is constantly changing, its surface reshapes, its atmosphere evolves, its oceans deepen. Meanwhile, Venus goes in a different direction. Its atmosphere becomes thick, too thick, heat gets trapped, temperatures rise. Venus becomes a runaway greenhouse. A warning: Mars cools too fast, its core slows, its magnetic field weakens. The Sun strips its atmosphere. Mars becomes dry and cold. Earth stands between two extremes, not too hot like Venus, not too cold like Mars. The narrator emphasizes Earth's survival is not luck alone, it is balance, gravity, distance, timing, protection. One small change and Earth would be lifeless. As the solar system settles, chaos slowly fades. The narrator slows his voice. He allows the audience to feel time passing. Millions of years become normal. Silence returns. Earth finally reaches a stable state. Its surface cools enough to remain solid. Water stays liquid. The atmosphere thickens. The building of the solar system is complete, but the greatest chapter has not yet begun. The narrator ends part 3 with deep suspense. Planets are born, orbits are stable, conditions are set, but life has not appeared yet. The universe has built the stage. Carefully, slowly, violently, now the question changes. What happens when chemistry becomes biology? When rocks become living cells? The camera moves toward Earth's deep ocean. Dark, silent, mysterious. Something is about to happen, something that will change the universe forever. In the next part, Earth will receive its greatest gift. Water. The story continues on a young Earth. The planet now has a solid surface. Rocks have cooled, crust has formed, but Earth is still empty. No oceans, no rivers, no life, only silence. The narrator reminds the audience that Earth was once a dry world, a burning planet under an angry sky. Its surface was cracked and dark. Its atmosphere was thick with toxic gases. Breathing here was impossible. The sun rose and set over a lifeless land. Day after day, year after year, nothing lived. The narrator asks a simple but powerful question. Where did Earth's water come from? At first, scientists believed water came from deep inside Earth, from volcanoes, from trapped gases, but later discoveries told a bigger story, a story that begins far away in deep space. The camera moves beyond Earth, past the inner planets, toward the outer regions of the solar system. Here, space is cold, dark, frozen. This is where comets are born. Comets are ancient travelers, made of ice, dust, and rock. They are leftovers from the birth of the solar system. The narrator explains that comets are time capsules. They carry material unchanged for billions of years. Along with comets, there are asteroids. Some are dry, some are rich in water, some carry organic molecules. These objects move silently through space. Waiting, then something happens. Gravitational shifts disturb their orbits. Jupiter moves, Saturn moves. Their gravity changes paths. Millions of icy bodies are sent toward the inner solar system, toward Earth. The narrator calls this moment a cosmic delivery. Earth is hit again and again. Each impact is violent. Each impact releases heat, but something new arrives: ice. When comets crash into Earth, their ice melts. Water spreads across the surface. At first, the water evaporates. Earth is still too hot, but Earth is cooling, slowly, patiently. Over millions of years, impacts continue. More water arrives, again and again. The narrator explains that water does not come all at once. It comes drop by drop, impact by impact. Eventually, the temperature drops enough. Water stays. Rain begins to fall. Not gentle rain, not peaceful rain. This rain is endless, heavy, violent. The sky darkens. Clouds cover the planet. Rain falls for thousands of years without stopping. The narrator pauses, allows the audience to imagine it. An entire planet under rain. No land visible, only water forming. Oceans begin to appear, small at first, shallow, then deeper, wider. Rivers carve through rock, valleys form, mountains erode. Earth begins to change its face. The narrator explains that water reshapes everything. It breaks rock, moves minerals, carries chemicals. Water becomes Earth's greatest architect. From space, Earth now looks different. Its color changes, from red and black to blue. The narrator describes this moment as Earth's rebirth. But oceans bring danger too. Water reacts with gases in the atmosphere. New chemicals form, some are deadly. Lightning strikes constantly, storms rage, Earth becomes loud, violent, alive with motion, still no life. The narrator reminds the audience water alone is not enough. Earth needs stability. The moon plays a role, its gravity controls tides, oceans rise and fall, mixing chemicals. This movement creates energy for change. The narrator explains that tides create shallow pools. Pools that heat during the day, cool at night. Perfect places for chemistry to experiment. Deep in the ocean, something else happens. Hydrothermal vents open on the ocean floor. Hot water rich in minerals bursts into cold seawater. These vents release energy, they create chemical reactions. The narrator slows his voice. This is important because life needs energy, not sunlight, not yet. Chemical energy. Earth now has water, energy, chemicals. The ingredients are ready, but life still does not appear immediately. Millions of years pass, oceans deepen, atmosphere slowly changes. Volcanoes release gases, carbon dioxide, nitrogen, water vapor. The sky remains thick and dark. The narrator explains that oxygen does not exist yet. Earth's air would kill modern humans, but Earth is preparing. Water dissolves minerals from rocks. Iron, phosphorus, carbon. These elements spread across the oceans. The narrator explains that water connects everything. Land, sky, ocean, Earth becomes a single system, but danger remains. Asteroids still strike. Some boil oceans, some freeze the surface. Life tries to begin, then fails, again and again. The narrator builds suspense. Earth almost loses everything multiple times. One massive impact could evaporate all oceans, but Earth survives. The sun remains stable. The moon remains close. The magnetic field remains strong. Balance returns. Oceans stabilize. Temperature settles. The narrator explains that liquid water exists for long periods now. This is new. This is rare. The universe watches. Earth has crossed a critical line, from a dry world to a water world. The narrator delivers a powerful line. Water did not just arrive on Earth. It changed Earth forever. Water becomes memory. Every ocean remembers billions of years. Every drop carries the story of stars. Because the hydrogen in water was born in the Big Bang, and the oxygen was born in dying stars. Earth's oceans are cosmic. The narrator pauses, lets the weight sink in. The water inside every living being today is ancient, older than Earth itself. The camera dives deep into the ocean, past sunlight, past darkness. In the deep, something waits, simple, invisible, fragile. The narrator ends part 4 with a quiet but powerful message. Earth now has oceans, it has energy, it has chemistry, all conditions are finally right. But life has not yet taken its first breath. That moment is coming. In the next part, From Water and Chemistry, Life Will Be Born, the story continues in silence. Earth now has oceans, vast, deep, endless. From space, the planet looks calm, peaceful, but beneath the surface, Earth is changing. The narrator reminds the audience, for billions of years, the universe was lifeless. Stars were born, planets were destroyed, but nothing ever lived. And then on one small planet, everything changed. The narrator asks the most important question in human history: how did life begin from non-living matter? There was no plan, no design, no guiding hand, only chemistry. On early Earth, the oceans were warm, the atmosphere was thick, lightning filled the sky, volcanoes erupted everywhere. Earth was dangerous, but danger created opportunity. The narrator explains that life needed 3 things: energy, water, chemicals. Earth had all 3. In the oceans, water mixed with minerals, carbon, hydrogen, nitrogen, oxygen. These elements are simple, but together they can create complexity. Lightning strikes added energy. Ultraviolet light from the sun added energy. Heat from volcanoes added energy. The planet was full of reactions. Simple molecules formed, then broke apart, then formed again. Millions of times. The narrator slows the pace. He lets time stretch. Millions of years pass. Nothing seems alive, but something important is happening. Molecules begin to organize. Some molecules can copy themselves, imperfectly, but enough. The narrator explains that replication is the key to life. A molecule that can copy itself can evolve. Mistakes happen during copying. Some copies are better, some are worse. This is natural selection, before life evolution already existed. Deep in the oceans near hydrothermal vents, conditions are extreme, boiling water, high pressure, toxic chemicals, yet these places are rich in energy. The narrator explains that life may have begun here, not in sunlight, but in darkness. Mineral surfaces act like laboratories. They hold molecules together, they protect them. Slowly, structures form. Membranes appear, thin barriers. They separate inside from outside. This is a breakthrough because now there is something new, a boundary. Inside the boundary, chemistry becomes controlled. Outside, chaos remains. The narrator describes this moment as the birth of the first cell. It is tiny, invisible, simple, but it is alive. It can take energy, it can grow, it can copy itself. Earth is no longer lifeless. The narrator pauses, lets the moment breathe. This is the most important event in Earth's history. From this moment, everything changes. The first life forms are simple. Single-celled organisms. They live in the ocean. They do not need oxygen. Oxygen is deadly to them. The narrator explains that early Earth has no oxygen atmosphere, no blue sky, no ozone layer. Life survives without oxygen for millions of years. These organisms feed on chemicals, they use heat, they use minerals, they multiply slowly, quietly. Earth does not notice at first, but life is persistent. Over time, these organisms spread across oceans, across the planet. They adapt, they change, they evolve. Some learn to use sunlight. This is revolutionary. Photosynthesis begins. The narrator explains that photosynthesis allows organisms to use sunlight to make energy, but it creates a dangerous waste product, oxygen. At first, oxygen reacts with rocks, with iron, with ocean. The sky remains dark, but oxygen keeps increasing. The narrator calls this moment Earth's silent revolution. Oxygen slowly fills the atmosphere. For early life, this is a disaster. Oxygen is poison. Many organisms die. The narrator explains that this is Earth's first mass extinction. But some organisms survive, they adapt to oxygen, they learn to use it. This creates more energy, much more. Life becomes powerful, the atmosphere changes color. The sky turns blue, an ozone layer forms. This protects Earth from deadly radiation. Life can now move closer to the surface. The narrator emphasizes life changed Earth and Earth changed life. They evolve together, but life remains simple. For billions of years, Earth is ruled by single cells. No plants, no animals, no eyes, just microscopic life. The narrator slows the pace again. This part of the story is easy to ignore, but it is essential. Without these simple organisms, complex life would never exist. They create oxygen. They stabilize climate. They prepare the planet. They are Earth's first engineers. The oceans become living systems, carbon cycles, nitrogen cycles. Earth becomes balanced, but danger still exists. Asteroids strike, volcanoes erupt, climate shifts. Life almost disappears multiple times, but it always returns. The narrator explains that life is stubborn. It survives heat, cold, darkness. As long as energy exists, life finds a way. Time passes, 1 billion years, then 2. Life becomes more complex. Cells begin to work together, they form colonies, then something incredible happens. Cells merge, instead of competing, they cooperate. The narrator explains that this creates complex cells, cells with nuclei, cells with power generators. This is another revolution. Complex life is now possible, but it will take time, a lot of time. The narrator looks ahead. Earth is alive now, but the surface is still empty. No forests, no animals, no sound, only oceans filled with invisible life. The narrator ends part 5 with a powerful reflection. Life did not arrive suddenly, it struggled, it failed, it adapted. Life was not a miracle, it was a process, a slow answer to a violent universe. And from these tiny cells everything will come. Trees, fish, dinosaurs, humans. All of it from chemistry and ancient oceans. The camera slowly rises from the deep ocean toward the empty land above. The narrator delivers the final line. Earth is alive now, but life is about to leave the ocean. In the next part, life will rise from water and conquer the land. The story continues on a living Earth. For billions of years, life has existed only in water. The oceans are full of life, tiny cells, simple organisms, invisible worlds. But the land above is empty, silent, dead. The narrator explains that land is dangerous. No protection from the sun, no water to float in, no stable temperature. Life has no reason to leave the ocean. And yet life is about to do something impossible. The camera rises from the ocean surface. It looks at the empty land, rocks, dust, volcanoes, no green, no movement. The narrator asks, why would life ever leave the safety of water? The answer is pressure. Oceans become crowded. Competition increases. Resources become limited. Some organisms are pushed toward shallow waters. Near the shore, here conditions change constantly. Water levels rise and fall. Tides expose life to air. Most organisms die, but a few survive. The narrator explains that survival favors adaptation. Some life forms develop stronger outer layers to prevent drying. Some develop simple ways to breathe air. These changes are small, but important. Life experiments again and again. Millions of years pass. The shoreline becomes a testing ground, a battlefield. One step at a time, life moves closer to land. The first pioneers are simple, algae, bacteria. They live on wet rocks. They survive sunlight. These organisms begin to change the land. They break rocks. They create soil. The narrator emphasizes, before animals, the land belonged to microbes. Over time, plants appear. Simple plants. No roots, no leaves. They grow close to water. Plants do something incredible. They produce oxygen. They absorb carbon dioxide. They stabilize the atmosphere. The land slowly becomes more friendly. The narrator explains that plants change Earth's climate. They reduce greenhouse gases. They cool the planet. Forests do not exist yet, but green patches appear. Earth begins to breathe. Then comes a bold move. Animals follow plants onto land. First, animals are small, fragile. They need moisture. They cannot travel far, but they have something new. Legs. The narrator explains that fins slowly evolve into limbs. Bones strengthen. Muscles adapt. Life learns to fight gravity. This is painful, dangerous. Most attempts fail, but some succeed. The narrator describes the first land animals as survivors of failure. They crawl, they drag themselves, they rest often, but they live. Earth is no longer silent. Insects appear. They are small, light, efficient. They spread quickly. They become the rulers of land. The narrator explains that insects change everything. They pollinate plants. They recycle nutrients. Ecosystems form. Life becomes complex. Plants grow taller. Roots dig deeper. Leaves spread wider. Forests appear. The land turns green. Earth looks alive in a new way, but success brings danger. Oxygen levels rise too high. Fires become common. Lightning ignites forests. Massive fires reshape the land. Life faces another crisis. The narrator explains that Earth is always balanced on a knife's edge. Too much oxygen, too little carbon dioxide, climate shifts. Some species thrive, others disappear. This is evolution at work. Life continues to experiment. Reptiles appear. They are better adapted to land. They do not need water to reproduce. Eggs develop shells. Life is now free from water. The narrator highlights this as a major breakthrough. Animals can now travel far from oceans. They grow larger, stronger, faster. Earth enters a new era. The land fills with movement, sounds, predators, prey. The planet is alive in every sense, but danger returns. The climate shifts again. Ice ages begin, glaciers spread, sea levels drop. Life is tested. Again, many species go extinct, but some survive. The narrator reminds the audience, extinction is not the end of life. It is a reset. Each extinction clears space. For new life, evolution speeds up. New species appear, dinosaurs rise, they dominate land for millions of years. Earth belongs to them, but their story will also end. The narrator slows his voice because Earth is not finished. The planet continues to change. Continents move, mountains rise, oceans shift, life adapts again. The narrator ends part 6 with a powerful reflection. Life began in water, but it did not stay there. It faced fire, gravity, cold, and it survived. From microbes to forests, from fins to legs, Earth became a living world, but intelligence has not yet appeared. The greatest change is still ahead. The camera moves across forests, over oceans, toward the horizon. The narrator delivers the final line. Life conquered the land, but the universe was about to witness something new, a mind that could understand the stars. In the next part, From Survival to Intelligence, the rise of complex life will begin. The story continues on a living planet. Earth is no longer silent. Forests breathe, oceans move, the land is full of life. For millions of years, animals rule the planet. They hunt, they hide, they survive. The narrator reminds the audience life has already won the hardest battle. It exists. But survival is not the end of the story. Something new is coming, something rare. The camera moves across ancient landscapes. Massive forests, wide rivers, endless skies. Creatures walk the land. Some are huge, some are fast, some are deadly. Dinosaurs dominate Earth for more than 160 million years. The narrator explains that dinosaurs are successful. They adapt, they evolve, they rule. It seems like the story has reached its peak. But the universe has other plans. A sudden change arrives. From deep space, a massive asteroid moves toward Earth. There is no warning, no escape. The impact is catastrophic. Firestorms spread across continents, dust blocks the sun, the world grows cold, dinosaurs disappear. The narrator pauses. This is one of the greatest mass extinctions in Earth's history, but extinction is not the end, it is an opening. With dinosaurs gone, small creatures survive. Mammals, they were hiding in shadows, waiting. The narrator explains that mammals are different. Warm-blooded, curious, adaptable, they explore new environments. Over millions of years, mammals grow larger, smarter, brains become more complex. Vision improves, memory improves, life begins to learn. Among these mammals, one group stands out, primates. They live in trees, they use hands, they see in depth. Their brains grow larger. The narrator explains that hands change everything. Hands allow tools. Tools allow control. Time passes. Millions of years. Climate changes again, forests shrink, grasslands expand. Primates are forced to the ground. This is dangerous. Predators are everywhere, but one group adapts. They walk upright. The narrator explains that walking on two legs frees the hands. Hands are now free to carry, to build, to create. Brains continue to grow. Early humans appear. They are not strong, not fast, but they are intelligent. They observe. They remember, they plan. Fire is discovered. Fire changes everything. It provides warmth, protection, cooked food. The narrator explains that fire feeds the brain. Cooked food gives more energy. Brains grow larger. Language develops. Sounds become words. Words become stories. Knowledge passes from generation to generation. This is revolutionary. Humans no longer rely only on genetics. They rely on culture. The narrator pauses. Earth has produced something new. A species that can think about the future. A species that can remember the past. A species that can ask questions. Humans spread across the planet. They adapt to deserts, ice, forests. They change the land. Agriculture begins. Cities rise. Civilizations form. The narrator explains that humans reshape Earth faster than any species before. Rivers are redirected. Forests are cleared. Mountains are mined. Earth feels the change. But humans do something no species has ever done. They look up. They study the sky. They track the stars. They ask, where did we come from? The narrator emphasizes this moment. The universe has become aware of itself through human eyes. Humans build science, technology, telescopes. They discover Earth is not the center. They discover the solar system. They discover galaxies, billions of them. The narrator explains that humans are made of star material. Every atom in the human body was forged in ancient stars. Earth gave rise to minds that can understand their own origin, but intelligence comes with danger. Humans change climate. They burn fossil fuels. They alter the atmosphere. Earth begins to warm. The narrator asks quietly, can intelligence destroy its own home? This is the greatest test, not of survival, but of wisdom. Humans now have the power to protect Earth, or to destroy it. The narrator reminds the audience Earth survived asteroids, volcanoes, ice ages, but this time the danger comes from within. The camera shows Earth from space, small, fragile. A thin blue line protects all life. The narrator slows his voice. Earth created life. Life created intelligence. Now intelligence must decide the future. The story has reached a turning point, because humans are no longer just part of Earth's story. They are writing the next chapter. The narrator ends part 7 with a powerful reflection. From dust to cells, from cells to minds. The universe took 4.6 billion years to create a species that can ask questions, and now one final question remains. Is Earth the only place where this happened, or are there other worlds, other minds looking back at us? The camera pulls away from Earth, past the moon, past the sun, into deep space. The narrator delivers the final line. Earth learned to think, but the universe is still full of mystery. In the final part, Earth's past will meet its future, and the search for other worlds will begin. The story reaches its final chapter. The camera looks at Earth from far away, a small blue dot floating in endless darkness. The narrator speaks softly. After 4.6 billion years, after fire, chaos, and extinction, Earth is still here, alive. This planet survived everything the universe threw at it. Explosions, asteroids, ice ages, mass extinctions. Most planets never get this far. Most worlds fail. Earth did not. The narrator reminds the audience Earth is not special because it exists. Earth is special because it remembers. Every mountain remembers pressure. Every ocean remembers time. Every living cell remembers survival. From space, Earth looks peaceful, but its history is violent. The narrator explains that Earth is balanced on miracles. A perfect distance from the sun. A protective moon. A magnetic shield. Liquid water. Stable climate. Change any one of these and Earth becomes lifeless. Venus shows one future, too hot, too hostile. Mars shows another, cold, silent, dead. Earth stands between them, alive. The narrator asks a deep question: is Earth unique or just rare? To answer this, humans look outward. Telescopes scan the sky, satellites listen to space. Scientists discover thousands of planets around other stars. Exoplanets. Some are too hot, some are too cold, some are giant gas worlds, but a few look familiar, rocky, Earth-sized, in the right zone. The narrator explains that the universe is full of planets, more planets than stars. This changes everything. If planets are common, could life be common too? The narrator pauses. Life on Earth began quickly, as soon as conditions allowed it. This suggests something powerful. Life may not be rare, but intelligent life is another story. Earth took billions of years to create intelligence, and intelligence almost destroyed itself many times. The narrator reminds the audience civilizations are fragile. One asteroid, one climate shift, one mistake. Earth has restarted life many times, but humans only get one chance. The camera shows modern Earth, cities glowing at night, planes crossing skies, signals leaving the planet. Humans are now a planetary force. They change climate, they alter ecosystems, they shape the future. The narrator asks quietly, can a species smart enough to understand the universe be wise enough to protect its home? This is the greatest challenge in Earth's story, not survival, responsibility. Earth does not belong to humans, humans belong to Earth. The narrator explains that Earth is alive because of cooperation, between oceans and atmosphere, between life and climate, between energy and balance. When balance breaks, extinction follows. The past is full of warnings, the future is still open. Humans now look beyond Earth. They dream of Mars, of moons, of distant stars. Exploration begins again. Just like ancient humans looked at the horizon, modern humans look at the stars. The narrator explains that space exploration is not escape, it is understanding. By studying other worlds, humans learn how fragile Earth is, how rare, how precious. The camera moves past Earth, toward the solar system, past Jupiter, past Saturn, into the galaxy. The Milky Way appears, a spiral of billions of stars. Each star may have planets, each planet may have a story. Somewhere out there, another Earth may exist. Another ocean, another sky, another beginning. The narrator slows his voice. If life exists elsewhere, it may also be asking questions, looking at the sky, wondering if it is alone. The universe may be full of stories, but Earth is the only one we know. The narrator returns to Earth. This planet taught atoms to become molecules, molecules to become cells, cells to become minds. Earth learned to see itself through us. The narrator delivers a powerful reflection. Humans are not separate from the universe. They are a part of it, made of star dust, shaped by gravity, alive because of Earth. Every human carries the universe inside them. The same atoms, the same history. The narrator emphasizes, to protect Earth is to protect our own origin. The future is unwritten. Earth may heal or it may change beyond recognition. The universe will continue with or without us, but Earth's story is still being written. The camera slowly pulls back. Earth becomes smaller, then smaller, a pale blue dot. The narrator delivers the final lines. Earth was born from dust, shaped by fire, saved by balance. It survived when others failed. It created life. Life created intelligence, and intelligence now holds the future. The narrator ends with silence, then one final sentence. In a universe this vast, Earth is not just our home, it is a miracle we must protect. Documentary ends.